So what does it truly mean to have success in Christ? Most of us look at the Davids and the Solomons and the Jobs and the Josephs, and we like, it's God's will for us to be blessed and to have more. But what no one really talks about is how David wasn't pursuing prosperity. He was absolutely content with just being a shepherd, and it was his gifts that made room for him and placed him in certain rooms. He wasn't praying to be king and to have money and to rule over people or flourish in that way. Or in today's terms, he wasn't praying to be a boss. He was praying for a clean heart. He was praying to go deeper in his relationship, to have a greater intimacy with God. It was never about the external things. Y'all know about how Solomon was the wealthiest man ever, and he was telling us that pursuing wealth and ambition overall is vanity. If most of us were put through the suffering that Job was put through, we would have never even got to the other side of that, because a lot of us would have turned our backs on God if we be truthful with ourselves. And even though Joseph was a dreamer, his goal was not to be king. It was to honor God, to be faithful to his people through every circumstance and every trial. But all of these men had in common is that their stories teach us our own personal need to focus on the faithfulness and obedience to God more than the other side, which is the prosperity or the successfulness. And the reason why I say this is because so many of us as Christians measure or interpret success by the standards of the world. We evaluate how much God is doing in our life by what we have, instead of by how much our spiritual fruit is growing. A lot of times, to even build up the church, serve the body, serve our community, serve the youth, serve the elderly, reach people, win souls, it doesn't even cost money. It just takes us being intentional about giving of our time and making ourselves available. That's not to say that we shouldn't give of our money, but there are examples all throughout the Bible of people who had nothing, but they gave everything because God had their heart. He says, wherever your treasure is, your heart is there also. Greatest treasure or the greatest blessing you can give someone is your time, not your money. He said, to those who are faithful over little, he will bless with much. But that doesn't mean that he wants us to pray and focus on having more. He wants us to learn how to be obedient with what we already have and where we already are. Too many of us within the church only prioritize things that benefit us, and that is turning godliness into gain. None of these men were focusing on being successful. They were focused on being faithful. It was simply about them learning to be obedient through whatever God placed them through in life. Every Christian's ultimate goal should be bringing more people to Jesus, seeing more people be discipled, seeing more people be saved. And winning souls is something we can't quantify. We never truly know how many people we reach or souls we touch. So how do we define success? Absolutely cannot control how much money we will make in this life, but we most definitely control how we use and spend our time. Are you using it to try to win souls, or spending all of your time trying to be successful, succeeding at your goals? Because that is not what success in Christ looks like. God bless you, and please